ಯಾರ್ದೋ ಆಡಿಯೋ ಬ್ರೇಕ್ ಆಗಿದೆ. Okay, we're streaming live, guys. ಯಾರ್ದೋ ಆಡಿಯೋ ಬ್ರೇಕ್ ಆಗಿದೆ. Good evening, Mriti. Hi, guys. Good evening. Happy Pongal and Sankranti. I hope you guys enjoyed today because today is a festival day. So today, whatever we're going to do it simple and we're going to do it fast. Okay, I won't keep you here for a long time. Also, you guys, can you refresh your page and see if you can get the feedback form in the description of this video. Just check it once and tell me. Okay. Okay, I hope you guys have kept your paints ready because today we will be doing Pattachitra. Okay, before we go into Pattachitra, let's look at some of the work that was done yesterday. Big thank you to everybody who participated yesterday, and big thank you for all of you for sending me your entries. Many of them were Pongal special, and that is really creative. It was very cleverly done, so really nice to see all of your work. Okay, so now I want to show all of you all of the work that was done by our participants yesterday. Okay, so let's go. I'll just share it for you to see. Okay, I suppose you can see the screen now. Okay, so we have a lot of Varley drawings that were sent in. I think that is the maximum number of entries, if I'm not wrong. And these were some of my favorites. Okay, and also if your name has been spelled wrong, really sorry, but to my best knowledge, I've put the right name. Okay, so you guys are trying new techniques, new styles. You've used a lot of colors, and great. Okay, so that's about yesterday. So now let's go to today's work, which is going to be Pattachitra. Okay, Pattachitra, let's break it. Patta means cloth and Chitra means drawing. Okay, so Pattachitra means cloth drawing. Okay, so almost any technique that is used to draw something on cloth falls under the category of Pattachitra. Okay, so most, even kalamkari for that matter, but it has a different name. Kalamkari is also a cloth painting, right? But it has its own name because of the style of painting it. Okay, in the north, and I'll tell you which states. So in the north, they have adopted different styles of drawing. Okay, different techniques. The way that they draw eyes is different. The way that they draw the body shape is different. Okay, even though they're different, they are both drawn on cloth, and that is why both of them come under Pattachitra. So basically, Pattachitra means cloth and chitra means drawing, so cloth painting. Okay, so you will find two main styles in Pattachitra. One is Oriental style. So if you see over here, there is a very elaborate border for both of them. Okay, lot of colors are used. Okay, like in Kalamkari, you don't use a lot of colors, right? But in this, there is a lot of colors that you use, and all of them are naturally obtained from roots and seeds. And you will see that Oriental style mostly consists of gods, goddesses, scriptures, and stories. Okay, whereas you have Occidental style also, where common life is depicted. Okay, a normal village woman, maybe a city. Okay, in Varli art, you will see that most of the time they depict the life in a village. But over here in Pattachitra, when they depict the life of a normal person, that person is from some town. And you can see that because of their clothing style, their shoes, the dressing that they do. Okay, from all that, you can tell. So that is the two kinds of style, right? One is Oriental, the other one is Occidental. Okay, now based on the way that it is painted, based on the size of the painting, there are two different kinds. Okay, one is a square pattern, and you can see that there's an artist over here, she's sitting and drawing. So they all consist of one single depiction in one picture. So over here, you can see that this is a scene from Ramayana. Okay, so looking at it, you know which story that they're talking about. You can see that there are elaborate borders over there for this picture, and you will see that there is only one scene that is captured. Okay, and that is the square pattern. Now, in a rolling pattern, what you see is like a stretch, like a comic book. Okay, so the entire story is depicted in different parts, and the entire thing is in, sometimes it goes up to 20 feet. Okay, they paint the entire thing by hand and then they roll it. So as you unroll, the story goes on. Okay, so this is a traditional comic book. So let's look at the style from Odisha. Odisha Pattachitra would look something like this. This you would have seen a lot of times. You would have seen Jagannath like that a lot of times. Oftentimes, you will see only the face that is depicted as though it is the center of the sun. Okay, and the big eyes. All that is looking at it. You know that okay, we are talking about Orissa or Odisha today. Okay, and over here we have this. So this would be an Oriental, and this is Occidental. So they're just depicting a woman, a dancer woman. Okay, and if you see how this one is different from Kalamkari, is that you use a lot more brighter colors in this art. First thing. Second thing is the chin. Okay, when you see the picture over here, you will see that her chin is also prominent. This is something that we avoid in Kalamkari. Okay, and even the cloth structure, everything is more ornamental and colorful when it comes to Pattachitra in Odisha style. Okay, so there is another style of Pattachitra which originates from West Bengal. Okay, it is called Kalighat painting. You would have probably heard of it, Kalighat painting, or you would have heard of Patao painting. Patao painting is also originating from West Bengal, and it is supposed to have originated from a community called Patao. Okay, so that is the West Bengal story of Pattachitra. And here you can see that we have an Oriental Pattachitra with Kalighat origin. Okay, so it is a cloth painting, so it is a Pattachitra. It is of West Bengal origin because if you see her crown, you will know you would have seen a lot of the Durga Devis that you see in Kolkata. They have that kind of a crown, so that you will see on almost any goddess in that. And this is a modern depiction of a Kalighat. Okay, so in this workshop, we will not be getting into Pattachitra that much. That is the Orissa style of Pattachitra. We won't do. Mostly because it is a lot more complex and it takes a lot more time. So we won't do that. These are some examples of Kalighat paintings, in the sense paintings that have adopted the Kalighat style. Okay, and it is done with the modern view. Okay, so this is something that I wanted to share with you till now. Okay, so now we're going to okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to start to draw. Okay, before we draw, I'll probably show you some other pictures, Kalighat pictures. Okay, and then we'll start drawing. For this, you will need any one bright color like red or blue. Okay, we're going to be drawing a woman. So her clothes, I'm going to probably get her to wear some blue sari. Okay, so that, and you will also need a light yellow or skin shade. Okay, if you're painting, make sure that it is something like a watercolor consistency. Okay, acrylic generally they don't use over here because they want some kind of transparency when you paint the picture. Okay, so brushes, water, watercolors if you have them. Otherwise, you can just draw it and you can probably design it in your way. Of course, we can take the modern route also, but if you have paints, then you can keep it ready. Okay, for watercolor, you will need a skin color or light yellow color. Okay, you will need a black marker or a gel pen. Then you will need blue or red for the dress or whichever color you want. Okay, so I'm going to switch this camera off and I'm going to go to the other one. Okay, just a minute. And after I shift, I want to know if you can still hear me properly. Okay, so for all of the work that we did so far in the workshop for all the 4 series, we did a lot of different variations of some shape or some drawing, right? We would have seen how to draw a peacock in different ways. We would have seen how to draw different types of hearts. But for this particular style, we won't be looking at how we're going to do different things. Mostly because when we do different things like that, it's very time consuming. Okay, so we're going to just stick to 1 or 2 um, paintings maximum. Um, anyway, so I'll show you one Kalighat picture. Okay, so this is a typical Kalighat because this is the only type of painting that involves skin color. Okay, when I say skin color, I'm talking about this color. Okay, everywhere else in Madhubani, you use yellow, bright yellow, you use bright red sometimes, orange, blue in case it is Krishna. And for Kalamkari, you don't paint the faces at all. You leave it as it is. Okay, but in Kalighat, it is one of the only paintings that uses skin color to depict a person. And the light yellow is also used. That is chrome yellow is also used. Okay, so that when you look at a painting, you might be confused and be like, okay, is this Kalamkari or is this Madhubani or is this, because the eyes that you see, it will be prominent. Okay, so there's no need to get confused. You only need to look at the other elements that are involved. In Madhubani, you will not even have this much of finger detailing. In Kalamkari, you might, but the shape, body shape in Kalamkari is of a very, very fit person, right? So the person, all the people are extremely curvy, right? Even if it is uh, a male drawing, the body will be in such a posture that you have to end up drawing curves everywhere. But in Kalighat, they keep it as simple and as real as they can, but it is still 2D. Okay, the eyes and the skin color is one main aspect for Kalighat, which is a type of Pattachitra. Okay, so we will be trying to paint something like this. There is an artist called Jamini Roy. Okay, let me just write that for you so you can search later on after this series is over. Look for works done by Jamini Roy. Okay, she majorly adopts Kalighat paintings, and you would have probably seen a lot of her work. Okay, so we're going to try look at a few simple Kalighat drawings, and then we'll start painting. Okay, so one simple person we'll try and draw now. I'm going to be using a mechanical pencil for this, and this is the rough that I'm drawing. Okay, we won't be painting this. This is just to practice. Okay, so let's start with the face. Let's say this is her head and chin. Okay, for all those who don't know, I'm using the Loomis method to draw her head. Okay, you can go and check that also if you want. Loomis method is one way to draw portraits of a face. Okay, so this is her head. Let's just try and finish her entire body and then we'll come back to details. Okay, so that would be her elbow, and that I'm going to take her shoulder like this, a big curved line, and I'm going to take her arm like that. Okay, let's just imagine that her hands are on her knee. Okay, so let's draw her knee. She's sitting, by the way. Okay, so let's draw her leg like that. These are all 2D paintings, right? So you don't have to worry about the positioning of all of them. It'll look like they're next to each other even if there is certain amount of depth. So don't worry about that. Okay, let's just imagine that her hand is on top of her knee, right? So let's just draw a hand.
Kritika,
Yeah,
you to draw it a little bit darker.
yeah. I'll come over it with another stroke. Okay, so I'm just doing this roughly so that before I darken it, here we try to be slightly realistic. Okay, if not a lot. That is why I'm doing this pencil. I'm not directly going in with pen. Okay, let's just imagine her feet are like this, and let's imagine this is her hairline, and this is her brow, her eyebrows, then her nose, her lips, and her chin. Okay, so for the forehead, for her hairline, okay, I'm going in dark now because I'm going to draw her ear like that. Okay, so next thing I will do is I will draw her eyebrows. So let me do that. Then her eyes, and her nose from here, if you want me to show you how each of this is done, just let me know. Each of this, in a sense, each of her features, that is her lips or nose, the shape, all that. Okay, so I'm going to give her curly hair. Okay, so I'm going to do that, and I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. Okay, so now I've done her hair, her neck from here onwards till her shoulder, and she's wearing, let's say, a sari like that. Okay, now let me work on this. I can't hear you, Ma.
Kritika,
Yeah, I can hear you now. Tell me.
uh, can they use sketch pens or color pens instead of paint?
To paint, okay, I'll tell you where you can use sketch pen. If you have color pencils, then okay. But if you have only sketch pens with you, we'll try to manage. We'll leave some places blank. Okay, we'll try to manage. And that is her leg. And that is her feet. the other one is folded. Okay, so like that. Here her arm is actually covered by the pallu of her sari. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to draw a line to indicate that there is a fold there. Okay, and let's just finish that off. Let's give her some earrings perhaps, like that. Okay, now when you paint or when you fill this in, you will be filling her hair, her eyebrows. These earrings and chain, those kind of details usually is done with white pen. Okay, she's given a complete skin shading. Um, and some amount of color is used to indicate her clothes. Okay, so looking at this, you will probably notice that we will be avoiding all kinds of ornaments, all kinds of patterns, designs, all of that we will not do here. That is only for kalamkari type. Okay, so if I was drawing this woman probably on like one sheet, one whole sheet. Okay, imagine that my border is like this. Imagine it's like that. So most often you will see that in Pattachitra, if it's a portrait of somebody, they will put like curtains like this. This is something you see in Tanjore paintings also. Okay, so that is one basic simple drawing in Kalighat style. Okay, so when it comes to doing animals over here, I'll just show you some um, examples of a few animals. Okay, so this is a Kalighat style tiger. There are different styles that you can take. Okay, so since it is 2D, imagine when you're drawing a lion's face, it'll look something like this with the mouth wide open and teeth, and then you will have fire like fur all around its head. Okay, so most often you will see that kind of animal, that kind of lion depicted under a painting where there is a picture of Durga. So below she'll be standing on top of a lion, right? So that lion will look something like that. So if you look up a lot of images, you'll see that kind of drawing. Okay, so let's look at one more animal, and this one is one of my favorites. Okay, so that is a depiction of a cat. Okay, I'm assuming this is a prawn, and you can imagine this is something that originated in West Bengal, right? And their fisheries is probably one of the major um, occupations. So you can find these kind of um, normally we all draw fish when it comes to traditional painting, but you will see that these guys go a step forward and they have drawings of prawn and all that. Okay, so Okay, I'll give a couple of seconds for you if you want to take a screenshot of her. Okay, whenever you draw in Kalinga, don't forget, if you, especially if you're drawing a woman, don't forget the chin. That is one main thing. And sometimes if you see, her eyes is within her face, but sometimes when you see, you would have seen some faces like that. Okay, and what you will see in that case, I hope this is dark enough. What you will see there is, yeah, I'll show you how to draw the cat. Okay, so imagine that this her. Okay, sometimes you will see that the eye is actually going out of the face. And this is Jamini Roy's specialty. So we'll try one of her pieces also. Okay, so since someone asked to show how to draw the cat, we'll do that. Okay, so for the cat, you need to start off with a box. A box with three sides. The fourth side, just roughly finish it, and you will need to do a W over here. Okay, in this case, we will take the eyes outside. Okay, so I'm going to rub this off a little bit and draw the eyes. Okay, and then you draw the eyebrows from here. Give the cat some ears. Okay. Now you can make this as small as you want or as big as you want. That's up to you. Okay, so now we're done with the cat's face. Let's go on to the body, which is fairly simple. Okay, so from the neck, let's take the body down like that. Let's give this one a tail and finish it off the leg. Then we'll give the other side limbs as well. Start this one from here and complete it. Okay, you can give whatever you want for the cat to hold. Now I'll draw a fish, okay, since we've already seen how to draw. Okay, when it comes to drawing cats in Kaligat, you have to give it patterns on its body, however you want. Okay, usually we don't fill the entire thing with one color. So if it is just a white cat, then you fill in with some kind of patterns. In whichever way you want, you can fill it with different colors if you want, you can do it. Okay, for the face, let me help you. Okay, to draw a face like this is fairly simple, right? So I hope I don't have to get into the details of that. Okay, if you want to draw a face like this, the first thing that you have to do is you have to draw a circle, a rough circle. Okay, so then after that, you have to, if she is looking in this direction, then you have to make a cut in this sphere. Okay, imagine. Here, the ear will come. And hairline, let's say her hair is somewhere here. So you have to join her hairline like that. And finish it off. Eyebrows, nose. Draw a chin and then join it. And then you have your neck. Okay, so I'll give you a minute or two for the cat and the lady. Okay, so now we're going to start with one painting. Okay, so for this, I will be using the book itself. Okay, I'll be drawing in the book. So I'll remove this sheet in just a second. So you guys finish um, taking a screenshot or drawing, whichever you prefer. And we will start with our painting. Okay. So now I'm going to leave that there and I'll be using a couple of brushes and I'll be using watercolor paints. Okay, for this. So before we start, let's just do a rough border for this one. So I'm going to move this slightly here. And after I finish, I will show it to you. After each element, I'll bring it. Okay, let's draw a border. Thin border will do. Or if you're drawing on a full sheet, no, or an A4 size sheet or something like that, if you're drawing, then you can take up a good amount of space with border designs. Okay, so that is up to you. It depends on your sheet and it depends on what you want to do. Okay, for this border, we will be simply just filling it with one color. We won't be putting any patterns. In the workshop, we won't be doing that. But if you want to put in some designs and patterns and all that, if you want to do, you can do that. Okay, so now we're done with the border. I'm just going to leave it um, light like this. Okay, and since I'm using watercolor, I will not draw in gel pen. Why? Because if I use gel pen and I use watercolor paints, everything will spread. Okay, so with the gel pen, I will be doing final detailing in the end. But before that, we will be doing everything in a pencil and I'll be using a mechanical pencil. If you want, you can use even a 2B or an HB pencil. Okay, so let's start. Now we're going to draw a woman. Okay, so only her face and her neck will be the entire body of this painting. Okay, so let's just imagine that the lady is wearing something on her head. Okay, like she's wearing the sari pallu on her head. So let's draw that. Okay, so I want it to be slightly narrow. So I'm going to give this a double line. There will be times where you actually cannot see what I'm doing because of the angle in which everything is kept. But it doesn't matter because I'll be showing it to you once we finish each component. Okay, so let's just draw a semicircle first at the top. Okay, they need to be roughly from the same point on both sides. Slowly darken it and bring it to the shape. that you want. As I darken it, you will be able to see size of what? Any size, but the entire, keep it in this vertical version, okay? Not like this. This is horizontal, this is vertical. You want your paper to be long, okay? You adjust with whatever you want. I want a narrow space here, that is why I gave this a double border. You can do whichever kind you want. Okay, so now I have darkened this a little more. It is touching the tip of the border on top, and it is touching the border on both sides. Okay, so now I'm going to give this a double line. Okay, so I will start very light strokes, and then I will darken it. Okay, then we will, okay, let's simply just draw one more line that goes behind the borders. Okay, all right, so it'll look something like this. Okay, so next what we'll do is we will draw her forehead. Okay, so I'm going to start her forehead here, somewhere here. Okay, and I'm going to take her face. So her face is going to be a little long in this. Okay, so almost like a box you should draw. Draw this portion, you have to draw lightly. Okay, before you darken, you have to add all the features and then darken everything at once. Then slowly, let's say this is the center of the face, no? Then bring her chin and join it. Okay, so now we're done with the face. If you want, you can have a pointed chin, or if you want, you can even have a narrow chin. I mean, a broad chin like that. Okay, so that is up to you. Okay, so now let us draw her eyebrows. Let's say her eyebrows are somewhere here. Okay, so I'm just going to lightly sketch this, and then I'm going to bring both the lines together almost to the bottom of this box. Okay, and I'm going to join it. Okay, it should look like this. Now at the eyebrows, it's not one line, no, it is actually a thick line like that. So let's give that a double line. We can fill this later on. Okay, now these cheeks I told you to draw lightly, no? So erase a little bit from the cheeks. Erase it and then place her eyes in that, and make sure that her eyes are going out of her face like that. Okay, so we're done with the eyes now. So let's give the pupil. We'll fill that in later. Okay, so since I'm doing everything sideways, it's like a little bit, I need to bring it to the center. And that's the thing, that's why we're doing it in pencil, right? We can do corrections. Okay, so to complete the nose, you have to draw two semicircles on either side. Okay, and that completes her nose. For her lips, you need to first draw a line. Okay, then imagine a center at the top, and from there, curve it and bring it down. And this needs to be like almost a triangle and a chin. Okay, now you can darken it. Okay, the ears in over here will be pretty long. Okay, so let's draw the ears. Okay, so that is her face. I'll give 1 second. I'll give a moment for you. Okay, so now we're done with the face and we're done with the top. Now next let's do her neck. So I'm going to give her a long neck. So I'm going to draw two straight lines and I'm going to okay.
Antika,
Yeah,
can they draw Buddha using this art?
yeah, you can. Okay. Now we need to finish off with her hair. Okay, so for her hair, okay, so for her jewelry, we'll give a rough outline for the nose ring. Okay, and I'm going to take like a rough outline for her earrings as well, but I won't draw it in pencil now. because I will paint the entire thing with watercolors, and then I'll come back with probably a white pen, a white gel pen, and then I'm going to do her um, earrings detail with that. Okay, so that is only after it has dried. For earring details, some traditional patterns would be, if this is the ear, okay, some patterns would be a double circle like that, and then it doesn't need to be connected. When you draw it with white lines like that on a dark background, it'll stand out. Okay, so that's what I will be doing with her earrings later on. I'm going to make her skin slightly chrome yellow. Okay, and before we do anything, I'm going to rub this off a little bit. Okay, usually when you do a watercolor painting, no, especially when you do it on a pencil background, what happens is that all of the graphite that is there on the pencil sketch will start coming out when you paint. Okay, so that's why it is better to simply just rub off all of the dark lines and keep only the markings so that you know where to paint and how much. Okay, so I'm going to rub this off now. Um, let's draw probably, okay. You want me to wait for a second before we move on? We will do the earring detail after the entire thing is over. After we paint, we'll be using um, a gel pen to give more details to it. So this is just the background for it.
Kritika,
Uh,
should they draw after painting the background or before?
before painting the background. After you paint the background, if you draw something and you want to erase it, no, then there is a chance that when you erase it, no, that force will like get through the painting also. Once you paint on a sheet, the sheet becomes very fragile. So after that, if you want to draw something on it, it should be with a marker or a gel pen. But if you draw with a pencil and then go to erase it, that kind of thing you can do only in acrylic. Okay, not with posters or watercolors. Okay, so now I'm going to erase this, okay, and you will not be able to see much of it. You will be able to see the colors though, but you won't be able to see this drawing anymore because I'm going to erase it. Okay, so I'm just going to lightly erase it off, and I'll move this for a minute. I'm just erasing it. So once I erase it, I'll bring it back into view. Although you won't be able to see much. All right. Oh, okay. All right. All right. So let's get down to painting. Like I said, we'll give her a blue dress. Okay, so whatever is there in the background of her, no, that also is the back of her pallu, which is on top of her head. Okay, so that also will be painted. I like to um, do this diffusion kind of technique, okay, where I paint with water first, wherever I'm supposed to be spreading the color. Just gets a lot more easier and faster. Okay, we'll leave her hair and the rest of it we'll paint in blue. So I'm going to prepare that area with a water wash. Okay, and then we'll paint with blue. Now, some of you have been asking me about the next batch. We haven't decided any of that yet. So if you want us to have a next batch, I would like to know how many of them would be interested. The next batch will probably be the same art forms, but maybe different designs. Okay, we haven't really got down to in thinking about the details. So you guys let me know what we should do. Apart from this, this Saturday evening, we will try doing a craft together. Um, it's called lippan art, Lippan art. And lippan art is a Gujarati art form, okay, where they basically use clay and mirrors, okay, to make wall hangings and border work, all of that. So that is called Lippan, and we'll be trying that together on Saturday. So if you know anyone who would be interested to do crafts, then make sure to give them information about this so they can join us. Okay,
Kritika,
so yeah,
do they have to take watercolor paper as base or any other paper will do?
if you're using um, watercolors, then it'll be better to use the appropriate paper. Um, if you're using an A4 size sheet, you can give it a try, no issues. But sometimes what happens, and you'll see a lot of clumping that is happening in the sheet. Okay, so that is why uh, for the appropriate medium, it'll be better if you use the appropriate sheet. Okay, so then even for this portion, I'll be painting it in blue. What color instead of yellow ochre for skin? If you've got um, red, try mixing that with a lot of water, and you might get a shade of skin color. Or if you can find skin somewhere, like if you have a palette or something, I'm sure you'll have a skin color there. Otherwise, you can use yellow itself.
Can they use fabric or acrylic colors?
Sure, if you have the appropriate shade, you can. Okay, so I took one color which was blue, and wherever blue was appearing, I finished painting there. Okay, so the next thing that we'll do is paint the innermost section of this. We've done the outside, now let's do the inside. Um, I'm going to be using skin color itself.
Kritika,
Yeah.
is the process similar for all the types of paints like fabric color, acrylic is similar like watercolor?
I will need a lot more than that. What do you mean same process?
Process of painting, I guess.
No, that I'll still need more. What do you mean mixing it with water? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, I guess so.
Okay, let them respond. We'll wait for that. What do you mean by process of painting? What exactly are you asking? Just put it in the chat box for them so that they can tell me.
She wants to know about how much water she can use in different types of painting. Like in watercolor, we mostly use water, right? So
Right, now I
he
get it.
wants to know.
Okay, for acrylic, almost no water. Okay, only for washing your brush, you will use water. Okay, for spreading color, for diluting color, you don't use water. For acrylic, you will get a medium. It's called medium. Okay, so if it is something specific like acrylic, then you will have to use medium. If it's oil painting, then you will have a special liquid for that also for diluting. The simplest form of paint is poster and watercolor. For poster, you don't have any medium and all that. You can use water itself. And for watercolor, obviously, you will be using a lot of water for diluting and spreading. Acrylic is used for paintings where you want that picture to have a solid color. Okay, I finished drawing this, so I'll show you an example of where acrylic is more appropriate and a place where watercolor is more appropriate. Okay, so I was telling you about lippan art that we're doing on Saturday, right? So this is one example of lippan art. And in this, I wanted a solid color. This is actually a cardboard. But when I paint, I don't want anyone to see what the background is. I want a very solid, opaque color over here. Okay. And for that, I will use acrylic. But in the case of this painting over here, I want the sheet also to be seen. Okay, the sheet is giving me some space so that I can make the color look light. Okay, so in that case, this color is actually very transparent. So it depends on what your piece is, and it depends on what the end product you want in the end, right? So only you can decide where acrylic is more specific. And yes, you can use light orange for painting the skin. I hope that answers the question. I gave her a basic coat with skin color. Okay, so I'll probably go in after this and darken it a little bit. But for this workshop, we'll try to finish this piece at least with the basic design. After that, we can think about what we can do for. On this picture, you can use acrylic, but when you give it details, no, when you like give a highlight for her forehead, the bindi, and her eyebrows, all those needs to be highlighted. So if you have a appropriate thin marker, you have a black CD marker pen, then you can use acrylic. Okay, so now let's give the border a color, the border of her sari. Okay, so I'm going to give that red. I'm actually trying to maintain a color scheme for this workshop. Okay, mostly I would have used red or blue. Can of course get creative and become as colorful with the picture. That's up to you. Okay, so in this pallu here, the closest portion of the fabric to her body is red. Okay, so here on top also you have to maintain the same. The closest portion with that is towards her body will be red. So it is this line that we have to color.
Kritika,
Yes, ma.
if at all we are giving outline for this art, can they use black brush pen?
Sure, why not? If you have a good control, you want me to use the brush pen or what? I didn't get you.
No, the person is
To
asking if they
outline,
can use, yeah, for the outline.
oh, yeah, yeah. If it is watercolor, no, then you can use your brush pen confidently. But if you're using like acrylic or something, the brush pen will not work. Will not work in the sense your acrylic will be so thick, no? Here I'll be painting it black anyway, so I'm not bothered about that. Okay. Okay, so now what we'll do is I'll do this outside border. What color shall I use? Okay, I'm going to paint this with orange. It's a random choice. Okay. Now here, wherever you see the hair portion, that will be in black. Okay, and then let me do one thing. Her the skin is dried comparatively, so let me just show you. Okay, all right, fine. make sure that the base color that you put over here is completely dried. Otherwise, if you're using a gel pen like me, then it will spread. Okay, so let's do the forehead. Okay, so we have 10 more minutes for this. And I think you got the idea as to how we're doing this and how we're finishing it. Okay, so there's not much left. We only have to paint the hair and give the rest of the detailing. So that you can do however you like. Okay. So I won't. What other colors you can do her clothes in whatever color you want. Um, you can probably switch these two. You can probably have yellow. Okay, so there's no rules when it comes to colors when we paint here. Okay, we can use whatever colors. That's fine. Um, this thing, this particular piece has not dried well enough for me to do any kind of detailing there. Okay, so I'm not going to do the hair. I'm not going to do this either because it's not dried fully. Okay, so I'm going to wait a little bit and then I'm going to fill it. So while we're doing that, you guys refresh this video and see, look for the feedback link. You will be getting the feedback link also. Yes, you can use watercolor and poster colors, it's fine. Okay, so yeah, so look for the feedback link, and if you have anything to say to me, you can contact me through my number. Um, okay, so let's take a look at a few equipments that we might need. Okay, so we will
Ritika,
be, yeah,
can you tell the brand of the notebook you're using?
brand of the notebook. Right. Okay, here it says God's grace. Okay. Um, this is just an all medium paper in A6 size. It's very handy, especially when you're traveling and you want to do something. Okay, so after this is done, after I finish this painting, after it dries, after I give all of the details, I'll show you what the final one over here looks like. You guys can send me your paintings as well, the final painting. Okay, and I want to ask your opinion on this. Okay, so I'm going to move this painting for a second because I want to show you something. Okay, so on Saturday, we will be trying lippan art, which is basically 3D art with clay, and we'll be using mirrors. Okay, so for that, if you can find some cardboard, some fevical clay, this is the best for 3D art. Okay, and if you can find it, some mirrors. Okay, because this would be helpful when we're doing glass work. Not only for this, you can use it for other work as well. So if you're getting it, then you can get them of different sizes and shapes. You can get them in any craft store. Okay, so if you're interested for making this, then you can show up on Saturday at around 6. Okay, so if you're coming, let me know either in the chat box here, or you can contact me on WhatsApp, or you can even give it in the feedback form that I've sent to you. Okay, so I'm going to stop now because it's almost time. Okay, I want this to dry and only then I will be continuing. So for now, I won't be finishing it in this video, but I will finish it and I will send it for you guys to see in the WhatsApp group. If you're not in the WhatsApp group, then make sure that you reach me through the number also. Okay, So if you guys finish this on your own, and if you want me to see it, do send this to me. Mirrors can be of any shape, it doesn't matter. If it is round, then it is easier to make patterns around it. If it is, you get triangles and squares sometimes, and that can be used for the borders. But if it is circle, we can incorporate it in the main one as well. Okay, so for lippan art, we usually use only mirrors and clay. We don't use beads and stones. Okay, so um, so for lippan art, this Saturday at 6 p.m. we will be meeting live. So though all of you who want to join can come on Saturday. Those of you, if you want to stay and watch me finish this, you can stay. Okay, but if you're leaving, make sure that you fill the feedback form for us. Okay, if you're leaving, you can go and we'll meet you on WhatsApp. Okay. Thank you guys. Thank you for joining. And make sure you get in contact with me if you want to see how this is finished. Thank you guys.